again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to a Friday Night Talking Town. It is live across the internet because, yes, we have a signing. It is Kasey McAteer, not James, not Jason, not Trevor, not George, not whichever name I had on the title, Matt, because it was not Kasey McAteer until about 60 seconds ago. I've had a mare, an absolute nightmare.
You have. We've been signing every McAteer under the sun other than the one we've actually got.
But when don't I have a nightmare about player names and who's arriving? I'm famous for this by now. We're 5 years in. If you're not used to me by now, you probably never will be used to me.
People shouldn't be moaning about this. This is standard behaviour at TT Towers.
You're lucky I got at least one of the two names right. You know.
You got one right. That's 50%. No, that's a big tick for you. Yeah,
exactly. It is a big tick for me. Look, welcome in, welcome all. Pull up a seat, get your favourite drink. We've got some football to talk about. We've got a signing. We have got a game tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about that. But of course, we'll focus on the big talking point, which is the signing. We have a Leicester fan joining us at some point through the show to give us the lowdown on Kasey McAteer and what town fans can expect. Before we go any further, don't forget this show is brought to you in partnership with the two sponsors you can see on our screen, Match Bingo and Stowmarket Osteopaths. More on them a little bit later. And we can't do these shows without you wonderful people. So please get all your opinions in our live chat. Whatever your comment, whatever your thought, please let us know as we go through the course of the evening. But Matt, the signing is here. 11.5 million from Leicester. Kasey McAteer, what are your thoughts? Last year, he scored one goal against us, but then that's not a huge headline because most people did score against us. But we're still going to give it to him. Now he's a town player, and he got 6 goals in the Leicester promotion campaign where they narrowly pipped us to the title. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, decent. I mean, look, I was chatting to Crunch on the phone earlier, and he was saying, "Oh, social media's gone, is on fire." Moaning about it. So people were moaning about we weren't making any signings. When they do make one, they don't like it. I mean, this is just people being fickle, isn't it? So you've got to give him an opportunity. I mean, it'd be interesting when we get, I think it's Chris in it from the Leicester TV when he comes on, just to see, there's a bit of a fire sale going on at Leicester, isn't there, at the moment, I think? With Fuentes having gone in there from QPR to there, they seem to be selling players. It'd be interesting to see that is one they wanted to let go. But I think he'd got... I think he'd been kind of like, they've been looking at maybe Sunderland bringing him in, and that deal hadn't happened, and we've come in there and got him. But I mean, look, we need to feel he's a right-sided player. We need to fill that with an impact player. Now that Omari Hutchinson is gone, hopefully he can do that. I mean, I watched a couple of videos before coming online, and everyone's saying it's Leicester fans saying, well, Ipswich fans will have to expect a downgrade on the Hutchinson, which is probably to be expected given we've just spent 11.5, and Hutchinson's gone for nearly 40. Into the Premier League. So, but then it always comes back to this thing, right? What does everyone sing in Portman Road? We've got Super Kieran McKenna. He knows exactly what we need, unless, of course, he signs players that everyone starts moaning about. Then apparently he's clueless. So I think you've just got to put your trust into Kieran and think that he's been scouted this kid for a considerable period of time, probably across multiple windows, if our history is anything.
Can't be multiple windows because we come on. This is a club famous for signing players. In the third window of the first scouting, right? You got George Hurst. I'm joking, of course. I'm being a little bit facetious there. Yeah. Right. They have no doubtedly scouted him across multiple.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. So he'll fit in there on the right hand side. He's a bit taller than Omari. I think he's probably a little bit maybe a bit more physical than him. Certainly, he looks like he can ghost into the box quite nicely and score at the far post. I think the majority of his goals are like that. So we'll just have to wait and see and give him an opportunity. Look how some players have really improved under McKenna. Even veterans like Cameron Burgess. He's going to be going to the World Cup in the summer. He was a mainstay player for Scunthorpe not so long ago. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that Kieran can weave his magic and the coaching staff can weave their magic with him. They've signed him for a reason. He'll fit into a system that they want to play. It's all good.
Are you saying trust the process without saying trust the process? Are you going there 4 minutes into a show? Are you saying trust the process without actually the words
I've been rumbled because I don't trust the process, but I'm trusting the transfer process. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Get out on a shirt.
Absolutely. Dominic says, under Cook, we wrote players off before they started. Didn't think we would do this under McKenna. Sort of lends itself into a little bit what you were saying there about McKenna taking players, taking, the attributes, taking all the raw ability and turning them into, well, as you just said, Cameron Burgess going to a World Cup when previously I think many Town fans would have said that that wouldn't be the case. He was certainly not playing the Premier League as well as he did last season.
Seen some moans in League One. I was moaning about him in League One.
That's my point, exactly. Banger after banger, DMB says, seen some moans online. I still think banger after banger, DMB he's got one of the best usernames I read out on this platform. It's a great one. It's a great one. Seen some moans online. We need to get behind the player and welcome them. ITFC Beard for 15 months says, I'm now in a tripod. That's after his appearance on Wednesday's show.
It was a bit shaky, wasn't it? People started saying they felt seasick. I then actually started feeling seasick myself because they had said it. The placebo effect.
Yeah, but it's great appearance, Beard. And now you've got a tripod. Well, I think you're eyeing up more appearances. The biggest talking point in our Discord, the back and forth we had going on, was the transfer fee, £11.5 million, with add-ons, of course, rising.
It is lumpy. Yeah, I don't disagree. I would say that's quite expensive, I would say.
Yeah? Are you in love with the fee? Are you not bothered? I mean, I'm famous for saying it's not my money. Splash the cash.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You want, however you want, because it isn't my money. So it'd be a bit rich for me to sit here and go, I'm not quite sure I like the transfer fee because it isn't my checkbook. It's not my signature. I'm not bothered. However,
well, I suppose I mean I think it's one of the Fosse YouTubes, the old Leicester nickname Fosse YouTube channels, was saying that Ipswich just paid nearly 12 million, probably with add-ons going to 14 to 15 for someone who they don't think is an elite player. Newsflash: Leicester City weren't elite last season, were they? Finished just above us, so no one was elite in that side. And who did they rely on really for their goals? Was Jamie Vardy. I don't think anyone was elite in that side. But certainly he can come with potential. What is he, 23, something like that? So he can come with potential that can be moulded by McKenna. And as we said earlier, you've seen like Wolfenden come on with Kieran. You've seen Burgess come on. You saw Murray Hutchinson come on. I mean, look how Rory was in the pre-season when he comes in on loan at Chelsea. And we sat right here, didn't we? And said, what's going to be? What's this kid going to be like? I mean, he was all over the pitch, wasn't he? And he was playing every single position. So I think he's got a bit more seasoning than what Amari had when he first came. And obviously, he's got a bit of, look, he's been at Leicester, 14, 15 years. And I think he says in the Town TV interview, it's going to be a huge thing for me. So don't expect him to hit the ground running. He's completely out of his comfort zone, moving from the Midlands to East Anglia at a club that he's been there since he was 8-9 years old or whatever. So we'll just have to be patient with him. But it is a lot of money. And look, I feel like we've probably paid over the odds of Frog Benny. And that was about 8 to 10 million, wasn't it? That feels like we've paid over the odds a little bit. He needs to bed in a bit after injury, doesn't he? Maybe that's one of the things that's also pushed this. You've lost Amari. Look, Benny hasn't really hit the ground running particularly. So hopefully, since his injury, Kasey McAteer can come in and, see what he can do. But certainly that right-sided area has been a problematic for Ipswich when you consider Wes Burns has been out since January as well. So we've got reduced options there, haven't we?
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about the player too much until I've heard the opinion of our Leicester fan coming in, because it's not a player I've watched week in, week out. I've obviously seen him when he's played against Town. The goal, if you don't remember it, go and check it out. It's a really well taken goal. It's hard. It's gone past Alex Palmer at his near post.
We moaned about that, didn't we? Do you remember?
We did.
How's he not beaten there? But it was a hell of a shot. Really good shot. I think it's 2-footed, right and left foot on some of the goals I saw on YouTube. So that's always been a bugbear of mine. Why can't a footballer be 2-footed? It is your job. You know what I mean?
So sort of bugbear at the weekend, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. I totally agree with Frank. Yeah.
So I'll judge a little bit more, or speak a little bit more, what I've heard from the Leicester fan. But we've got Josh Russell saying people were too quick to judge him before he's played for us. Let's give him a chance. I don't think anyone's not giving him a chance. I think you can critique the transfer and still give him a chance. I mean, no doubt about it. Every single person watching this today, live or whenever they're watching it, if they're a Town fan, they will want him to score tomorrow. They'll want him to play well tomorrow and beyond. They want him to do all these different things because we're all Town fans in the day.
We've got short memories, haven't we? As me and Crunch was saying, it wasn't that long ago. Everyone had a ticker tape parade because we signed Ollie Hawkins, Stephen Ward, and Di Cornell on the same day.
Yeah, but that's a different world. That's a whole different world to the football club you're now talking about. Like you can't compare the two at all. Is it the answer to Amari leaving? No. I will probably say that. But again, I'll learn more when the Leicester fan tells us a little bit more about him. I don't get that feeling looking at his stats. 6 goals in the year. Leicester were promoted. 1 goal last year in the Premier League, and the Premier League obviously is a relentless.
Played less games. I think Amari got 11, didn't he, in that season that we got promoted with them? I think he played half the games that Amari did. So actually, if you double that up, he's probably on par.
But then you equally have to take into account how raw Amari was that year, because when Amari came in, he was incredibly raw. And we all forget that now, sitting here 2 years later. But he was so raw that it was he could be a really good, exciting player. It's just how long it's going to take for him to get up and running. And and once
we haven't got a lot of patience as Town fans, have we? I mean, you're seeing it in the signing here. You're seeing it in the performances since the season started in the league and in the Carabao Cup. So people want to see results straight away. They want to see, if Akpom starts tomorrow or comes in off the bench or whatever might happen to Deepdale, don't want to see him hit the ground running and score. Ditto McAteer. So I mean, you've got to be patient by the same, by the same token, really.
He played 23 games for Leicester that season. He scored 6 goals, and I can tell you, Amari now says not a Forest player, which obviously
get the tissues out. I'll tear in the eye. He must have been at least 35 games that season.
More or less double. 20. He says here 44.
There we go. So there you are. So he scores. He plays double the games and scored pretty much double the goals. So
not even quite double the goals, but yes, he played a lot more games. He was involved in a lot more games. Paul Smith, good evening, everyone. Leicester selling a points deduction. There's only 2 games in. Is that Leicester out the promotion race? Says Paul. Well, we don't know about the deduction, do we? Like that's like
all gone quiet again.
Yeah,
maybe Chris can tell us.
Maybe Chris can tell us.
Yeah, we question him on it.
No. Let's make up our own minds instead of relying on Leicester fans feeding our narrative. Yeah, but equally, Harps, he has seen this player play more than I, probably a lot more than anybody else watching. I'll go on record to say that, probably a lot more than anyone else watching this, because he's a Leicester fan, right? And he's where he's come from. It works both ways. People, when Amari went to Nottingham Forest, I had Nottingham Forest fans messaging me, Matt, saying, what sort of player is he? What's he like?
Rubbish. You've just wasted 40 million.
I didn't quite say that. All right, but moving on, because we'll circle back to McAteer. Wolf linked with another club, or Watford, as Town reportedly have a bid rejected for Sebastian Cáceres. What are your thoughts on that one?
Beautifully said. Any Spanish speakers in the comments, let us know mine's pronunciation. Very good. Well, look, one of disappointment, because you don't really want to see, like McAteer leaving Leicester. It's the same. We're in the same boat here with Wolford, don't we? Someone who's come through the academy, part of the furniture, played for us in the Premier League. Don't really want to move him on. But I would imagine that if they're looking at this, so he's Cáceres, I'll say, he's Uruguayan, playing for Club America in Mexico, and is Uruguayan international. I would imagine then that they're looking with one eye back on promotion to the Premier League and him being a mainstay in our defence in 12 months has got to be the thinking. Because if you actually look at their kind of if you put them head to head on their stats, the overlay is pretty much exactly the same. I just think probably he's probably just got a little bit more about him as an international player, I would have thought. Interesting. And they, again, play a trading model, cash in on someone from the academy. I mean, what does Wolfenden even command as a fee? A couple of mil? I really don't know.
It's a good question.
I don't know. It's a good question. He got linked to Coventry, didn't he? That was the kind of thing on Discord. He would look like he might be going to Coventry. It's obviously Lampard liked the looks of him. But again, there was no kind of fee around there. And I think Watford and Stoke are teams that look at. Now, they're not the most inspiring of choices to leave Town for, are they? When you consider everything we've been through in the last couple of seasons to go to 2 mid-table cloggers, although Stoke have started. Stoke have started very, very well. But, they narrowly avoided relegation last season, didn't they, by a couple of points. But look, Wolfie don't want to be sitting on our bench either, does he? So he wants to be playing games. Professional footballers don't want to be sitting on the bench. And, was it Ben Adams' most underrated player in the Premier League last season, wasn't he? He chose Wolfie when we done that as one of the shows. And I can see that thinking, to be honest. So he obviously thinks he can go and play 40 games plus somewhere else in the same division. And if he does, good luck to him. But I think if we are to get this Uruguayan lad in, it'll be with one eye on the Premier League.
His value must have increased from a couple of seasons ago when we first started the platform, I'm sure there was talk of him possibly going to Palace under Evans. I think from memory that was around the 2 million mark. That was a rumor, that was a report, that was a link, that was all these different things you hear around transfer season. Surely it's gone up from that type of money. We've got some comments. We've got 5 to 6 for Wolfie, says Trevor. 7 to 8 for Wolfie, says Josh, and he's not alone because Mike Baker says 8 million for Wolfie. Dominic Dean has gifted 5 Talking Town membership. Dominic, thank you so much for your generosity. It's really appreciated. And ITFC Bids matched it. It's like bargain hunt in the chat because now just let's hold my beer. I'm matching it. ITFC Beard, thank you very much for your gifted 5 Talking Town memberships. It's appreciated. That's 10 new members. Welcome to the platform. You'll find your Discord link in the community posts tab on YouTube. Come and get involved. It gets fiery.
It does get fiery.
It does get fiery.
Yeah. Exactly that. Depends what's going on at the time, but generally fiery. SofaScore Wolverhampton down as a player value of 1.8. So you could probably double that and a bit more. So you're probably getting towards 5 million, I would have thought. It'll probably be a low fee and it'll go as an undisclosed figure.
Everything's undisclosed these days, which kind of makes me laugh because you hear news reports say so and so's gone to so and so for undisclosed fee, reportedly, believed to be about. And it's like, well, why are we undisclosing it then? If we're sticking that report, believed to be about in, like, just have it known, just have it public.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it. But the replacement bid in, rejected, reports suggest for Sebastian Caceres. What are your thoughts on that? I'm not going to. I know you watch a lot of football, but I'm not going to ask you what sort of player he is because I don't know if you're going to know.
Mexican League is one I don't regularly watch, although I did tune in on YouTube when we got linked to that Ruiz. I see that's still doing the rounds, by the way. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what might happen there? I mean, I would imagine the fee that we're probably going to be getting for Wolverhampton will be put into bringing Caceres in over from Mexico, and I think he was rated around 5 to 6 million. My big take home from this is that we've fired up the Brighton software, haven't we, for this one? Someone from Central America, which seems to be honed in to sort of Latin American players, doesn't it? No surprise that we're now back in the champ. And we can use that Tony Bloom ball software, whatever it's called. And suddenly, that Ruiz comes in and so does this kid. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it would be disappointing to see Wolverhampton go. But, by the same token, nothing ever lasts forever either, does it? And as Leicester are finding out of McAteer, we might see with Wolverhampton and you bring a new face in and who knows? Could be a cult hero. Who knows?
Agreed. €5 from David. Super sticker. Thank you very much, David. I really appreciate that. That super sticker generosity is really appreciated. And other news before we sort of go into a little bit of McKenna's press conference and what about what he said is Elkan Baggott rewarded with a new contract.
Yeah,
Dominic would love to see Baggott get a run. But just to make you aware, he also said earlier in the chat, Matt used to annoy me, but I kind of like him now. So you might want to agree with Dominic, all right? You might want to agree. You might want to just
Why did I annoy you? Why did I annoy you, Dominic?
You annoy everybody. It's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. So, what are your thoughts on Baggott getting a contract extension?
Well, I'm compromised on this a little bit. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I felt like he was going to be a Corey Indaba. He would just sort of forever be on the scene, forever getting loaned out, disappear to Scotland, and then somehow gets a Corey's now gone to Serie A, hasn't he? Lecce in Italian football. He's going to be playing in the top flight. This season that kicks off this weekend, so that's good for him. But it makes business, as we all keep saying, it makes business sense for Ipswich to keep Baggott around because, like we said before, household name in Indonesia. I mean, he's huge there. I don't think we could quite put it into words. He's absolutely huge, and of course that doesn't get you promoted or anything, but marketability, isn't it? That's what he brings. And look, who knows? Signs a contract with us. Will he go on loan? He might still go on loan, mightn't he? Because if you're looking at left-sided players, of which he is, you've got Greaves, you've got Kipre. I don't think you need a third left-footed centre-back, but who knows with some of the injuries that keep floating around Portman Road in the last 12 months. So you never quite know. So he might go out on loan or whatever. But I'd like to, I agree with the guys in the comments here. I would like to see him get an opportunity because we never really gave him an opportunity.
Over who?
Well, exactly that. I mean, look, we can't. What's the perfect game for him? To play in the Carabao.
We're out of that.
We've already gone out of that. So we don't help ourselves particularly. So when would probably be the next opportunity for him?
January. FA Cup.
FA Cup. So, this is why Ipswich, it disappoints me that Ipswich don't do very well in the Carabao, because you don't have the Pizza Cup anymore, and you can't give these kids experience of playing at Portman Road, blah, 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 very often. And how often do you look, Baggett's not going to come on in the league game at Portman Road, is he? You're going to have Wolfenden or Kipray or whoever is going to be ahead of him.
Well, this is it. You've got, obviously, Kipray, you've got potentially going to be Sebastian Caceres, you've got Greaves, you've got O'Shea, that's 4. He's the 5th. It does feel like it could be one of two things: this contract extension because they feel that there's something there, they want to protect the club's value in him and give him time to develop and not rush him along and not have to lose him, etc. And it also could be very much what you see in football these days, which is protect the value, protect the transfer value, increase the value, etc., etc. So, hey, I like Elcombe. Every time I've seen him play, I think there's been some really good ability there. It's now whether or not we can get him out on loan. I feel really. If you feel like this,
didn't he? He scored in that League Cup game against Fulham, didn't he? When we went out, there you go, perfect opportunity. What happened that season? We had a cup run in the League Cup, didn't we? Be like Wolves and that, and we got Fulham was a bit bridge too far, maybe. That was the game when all of our defence was in front of the dugout and they broke away and scored. Do you remember? They was having a mothers' meeting. Do you remember that? Everybody was over on the right hand side, and it was that. I
honestly don't remember it. Honestly, I don't.
I mean, look, Baggett is going to be 23 in October. So I mean, he does need to be playing games, really. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, Wolfenden's 3 years older. He's played hundreds of times for Ipswich. So I mean, Baggett needs to be out there and getting 90 minutes week in, week out. Really, he ain't going to get out of Portman Road. That's the only thing.
No, he needs a loan now especially because you're at the Carabao Cup. You need that loan for him. You need to. He needs to have the minutes. It can't. It's no good this season, the 25-26 season, Matt, for Elcombe Baggett being January, 1 game, and then maybe a second round if you go through the 3rd round. That's no good for him. That's no good for his development. He now needs to go and play regularly at a good level, very similar to Cam Humphreys did last year for Wycombe, and go and develop and grow as a football player to see where you are this time next year when you return back. In the same way Cam Humphreys has, he may still go out on loan, Cam, but it's looking more and more likely. As Sam says here, 10 days after the window, still need at least 4 players. One of those, for me, is still a central midfield plan. Now, if you don't get it, you'll keep Cam Humphreys around, and he'll be around the squad. And who knows, when opportunity comes, what may present itself to him and how he will take it.
You've got to hope these players come like buses, Sam's saying now. I mean, that's not long. Look, it's ticking, isn't it? 10 days.
They're going to absolutely have to.
Every other day.
We do need to fill the... If we are going to refill the...
I would say, Martin, that Baggett is already in the Corey and Darby territory looking at some of his loans. So you wind it back to 2021. He was at Kings Lynn Town. Then he went to Gillingham, which I didn't agree with on here. Early days of Talking Town. I said, that's not a good enough club for him. Then we were on the cusp of getting relegated out of the league, weren't they? You don't want him to be in a relegation mentality. You want to be in a winning mentality. Then he goes to Cheltenham. Then he's gone to Bristol Rovers 2024. And then obviously last season he was at Blackpool. So I mean, he's already had 5 or 6 clubs right now, which is kind of in Darba territory for me. So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. See where he ends up. See where he ends up.
Cool. All right, we've got joining us now from introduce this man, Chris, because Matt, rather. I've just done it.
I've still remembered your superb backdrop, haven't I, from last season?
You did. You remembered it well, And you
still got the trophy, Premier League trophy
in the corner there. It's just off screen, unfortunately. We do have the Premier League trophy. No, Leicester till I die. Thank you very much for having me on.
Till I die. Fantastic. How you been keeping then?
I've been better, if I'm honest with you.
Needs to be back in the champ?
To be honest, in a way, yes, because we might actually see us winning. Although, having said that, we've only done that once against a team we should have battered, and we only beat them 2-1 in Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
But look, last season for both of us and Southampton was an absolute nightmare, wasn't it? I mean, I think in fairness to you guys, I mean, Southampton and Leicester, we'd been there before. We'd only been out of it one season. We should have done better. The interesting point for me was we started the season with Steve Cooper, and he said, nobody's going to blame me for buying inexperienced players. I'm going to go out and buy experienced players for experience to fill in old. Where you were buying all the players that I said we should be buying.
Yeah, you got annoyed by that, didn't you? I remember.
Players, yeah. And I said it'd be very interesting at the end of the season to see who does better. You with the youngsters or us with the old timers. And let's be honest with you, we're both shit. So,
Yeah. Good way of describing it, quite frankly. Yeah. Well, look, listen, someone who's been part of the furniture at Leicester is Kasey McAteer. I nearly said Jason then, Martin. That's your fault. Kasey McAteer, been there since he's eight years old. Now coming to Portman Road, Chris. What can we expect in a nutshell? What's his Leicester City career been like?
It depends who you speak to. Because it's funny that so many people have been critical of him, so many fans have been critical, but now we've sold him, it's like, we shouldn't have sold him. Typical fickle fans. We seem to have a lot at Leicester. Look, you've got a fan. You've got in me a fan who likes him.
Okay.
He can play both. I remember the first time I really noticed him a couple of seasons ago, and he came on in the friendly and played on the left. He's mainly on the right, though. It's where we play. What I like about him is he's got passion, which a lot of our players haven't, to be honest with you, at the moment.
Former ball boy at the ground, wasn't he?
Sorry?
He's a former ball boy.
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's Leicester through and through. The good thing about this is the fact that it's pure profit for us with PSR. And you know the trouble we're having with PSR at the moment.
Never been mentioned before.
I'm sure it's not. But look, he'll attack for you. Defensively, he probably needs to have that work, Tom.
Okay.
He's got a good shot. He's not scared to have a shot.
Noticed that.
Yeah, he'll come in. And, I mean, the problem is that we've got Fatawu on the same side.
Yeah.
And if you've got Fatawu on form, unfortunately, he's never going to start. And that, I think, is why we've sort of let him go. And hopefully that means we're going to keep Fatawu. But we don't always know what you're going to get with Fatawu. I like him. He comes in, and what Fatawu does, he'll try and go past two players and do it and look really good. Yeah. And then he'll say, well, I want to go and try and get past another two players. Lose the ball, and we end up having to come back defending. That said, when he gets it on his left foot, it's sweet, and if he gets it on target, brilliant. But that he doesn't do that all the time. Where with what we tended to find with Kasey was that he won't do that extra bit. He will actually, right, I've gone past a couple of players, I've got down the wing, and who can I pass it to? Who's in a good position? The problem was last season, when we had the Dunch Pumpkin in charge, every time either him or Christensen on the other side got down the wing, because Fatawu was injured, he was out for months last season, so he did get a lot of game time. The thing I've discovered about being back in the Championship that I've forgotten was that there are actually two halves to the pitch. I always forgot that the opposition had a half because Ruud van Nistelrooy never wanted us to go over that halfway line. So that when McAteer and Christensen went down to, and crossed that thing, they'd look to, past the halfway line, attack the wings, going to cross the ball in. There was no bugger there. So they had to play it back. Mm. I like him. I think you're getting a very good player. I would question the amount that you spent. I would say thank you very much for the 12 million.
What's he really worth? Half that?
If you'd said 6 million,
yeah,
I would have probably been happy with 6 million because it's all profit. Like I say, no matter what we get for this player, we've got no sell-on clauses. It's pure profit for PSR. We turned down, and there's various amounts, around 7 million from Sunderland in January.
Mm.
And you've come, from what I've read, with the 12 million and some very achievable add-ons. And I like those two words, very achievable. They do make me happy, which could go up to 14 million. We end up getting 14 million for this guy. Yes, I would have liked him to have stayed, because I think if Fatawu isn't performing or he gets injured, he's my first choice to come on and replace him. Yeah. But it's about the club at the moment over individual players. And I'm sorry to see him go. I think you're getting a good player. I don't particularly know who your first choice down that right wing is.
Kasey McAteer at the moment.
Is it all right? Okay, it's that bad, is it? Right. He won't let you. He'll give his all. Right. What you will never say about Kasey, well, I've never said about Kasey McAteer, is, and we know we saw Dross last season, but he came off and he was passionate and he'd run for you. And I know this was his hometown club and what have you, but I like the guy, and I think you're getting a really good player. Well, maybe you paid a little bit too much for him, but I'm not going to complain about that.
Exactly. We can't wave in that American money offer you can't refuse, Chris. And
Ed Sheeran's pocket money, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'd imagine the plan long term is probably once McAteer's bedded in, and like we said earlier in the show, it'll take him a while, isn't it? Because he's been part of the furniture at the King Power since a little kid in primary school. It's going to take him a while, like moving out of his comfort zone. But I'd imagine McAteer on one side and one of Philogene or Jack Clark on the left-hand side. And I think that could be quite a potent attack with Akpom or a George Hurst down the middle. He's obviously, I mean, look, we sold Omari Hutchinson to your other favourite club, Nottingham Forest, for nearly 40 mil. I mean, he's obviously a diminutive player for us, Omari, but very pacey, very tricky. Kasey looks like he's got more of a striker build to him, although he plays on the wing. Is he just as quick, do you think?
He's beefed up. He has beefed up a lot over a couple of seasons under different managers. He's not the slowest player out there. You will need to work on his defensive strengths a little bit. So it depends who you've got behind him. But he will beat players. He will get to the byline and get that ball across if he's given the support and what have you. And you know what? It's amazing. You look at Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who went to Chelsea, and he'd been with us since he was about 6. And now he's obviously moved on to Everton. I don't think you've got that problem with your club. It's a well-run club. I've got. I mean, I can remember. When you were in Europe and what have you, I used to have a soft spot for Ipswich. But the thing is, it's not exactly a million miles away. It's down the road. He can probably travel there on a daily basis. So he's not actually, going out too much out of his comfort zone, because he's still going to have his friends and what have you.
Yeah, I get you.
Is he two-footed? Not sure is the honest answer to that. He has played, like I say, when he started out, I remember seeing him on the left wing, but he cuts in, and the managers we've had like the wingers to cut in. I would tend to say I think he can use both feet, but obviously he's more right than left.
That's interesting. I mean, look, as you know, Martin, like we've had Jack Clark, he's on the left-hand side generally, isn't he? But he's right-footed. And Murray on the right side, cutting in with the left foot. So it'll be interesting. Kieran does like to put round pegs in square holes, Chris. This does happen from time to time. Because like Philogene, we thought was going to play on the left-hand side. Was majority on the right-hand side last season. In pre-season, he has been on the left. So
if you've got a manager, which you have in Kieran, who's good and can look at a player and go, no, I think you can do a job in that position, different position. Yeah, you get away with it. I mean, he could actually even play a little. No, I'm not sure whether he'd play central or not. But we've had a manager last season that was just trying to put rubbish into holes, not square pegs or round pegs or anything. You do not realise how bad it was. I mean, all I will say is thank God for Southampton last season.
You took 4 points off us, Chris. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, but I think that was only about the only 4 points we got all bloody season.
Yeah, we were like this for Southampton. We gave them 4 as well. Before we let you go, Chris, thanks for your time. Any regrets about letting George Hurst go? He's sort of trying to fill Delap's boots at the moment and not doing a bad job at all, really. We'll have to wait and see whether or not he keeps that number 9 shirt for the rest of the season, that starting position. But
he scored.
Wish he was with you?
Yeah, well, at the moment, yes, because we've not got a striker. But at the time, when he left, nobody's going to knock Jamie Vardy off the top spot.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've got AU, who is like, senior citizen. I mean, God knows. He has his role, which is to hold the ball up or to go down and get a foul, but that's it. And our other striker is Patson Daka, and it's the proverbial brothel, that he can't score in. So I wouldn't say we missed him because we didn't really do much for Leicester.
No, I didn't think.
When he came through, he was being loaned out, and he never, until he came to you guys, he never seemed to. We looked at him and went, "Yeah, but he didn't really do much there."
Yeah. So, I get it.
But,
where are you going to finish in the table then? Once you've got your points deduction comes in.
yeah. And you know what? I wish they'd just get on with it. Tell us what we've got.
Yeah.
And just why? Just tell us now. Then we can just don't fight Leicester. Just accept it, because every season we start the season thinking, we're going to get a points deduction. I don't think we'll go up. If I'm honest,
you don't think you'll be top 6? Got a good manager, to be fair. But you haven't got players, though. That's the issue.
He is a good manager. Unfortunately, we haven't got many good players.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. And when we lost, we went out to Huddersfield in the Cup midweek, and that's when you look at the squad, because he plays, he made 7 changes from the starting lineup. And you're looking at the squad, you're thinking, maybe the squad's not as good as we thought it was. Then we played Preston the weekend, and it's like, oh my God, reality here. Because suddenly we thought, Marty coming in, and we're going to six past Sheffield Wednesday and all this. I would take finishing 7th or 8th, I think.
What did you make?
Do what Leeds did. Have another season down there. Go up stronger.
Very quickly, what did you make of Preston? We've got them tomorrow, obviously. Did they beat you 2-1?
2-1.
Yeah.
Jeremy Monga got our goal, who is the one bright spark in our team. But he's 16. He's not done his A levels. He has to fit in training around school. But he is absolutely... I'm so glad that he didn't go to Man City, who were sniffing around him. He stayed with us. He signed whatever they sign at that age so that he stays. So we're going to make millions on him, I tell you, when he goes. Preston, are you away or at home?
Away.
Deep down.
Away. I'm trying to think what I predicted for you guys in the prediction show.
Probably win.
They were very, very good. They played as a team, but Preston, for me, are a sort of team that will always do well, or they always seem to do well at the start.
They do. I agree with you, yeah.
And then fade off as it goes through. I'm interested now just to say, I'm just going to get my prediction up here. You'll probably hate me for this after all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went for a draw, to be honest with you.
We'll take a point.
Let's be honest with you, even if you're losing 2-0 in 89th minute, you'll get 2 goals by the 97th. You always do. You did that last time we were down here.
We did.
Well, last time we went to Deepdale, Chris, we were 3-0 down at half time. We got it back to 3-2, but we gave ourselves too much fun.
You did that against Birmingham as well, didn't you? Last time we were both down here, I remember, because we were top and we were looking at you, and every time I said, they're losing or they're only drawing. And I'd go off and be doing my watch long, and I'd come back at the end. They scored again. How did he do it?
We'll give you a wave from the top of the table, sort of towards the end of the season, Chris. Little thumbs up. On that.
Cheers,
Chris, where can the fantastic people at home find you? Where can they find you, Chris? Shout it loud, shout it proud.
Now you confused them all.
Now is your time, Chris. I didn't. He did.
Leicester Till I Die TV, Leicester Till I Die. If you just tap in LTID TV, you'll find us on YouTube and all the normal socials.
Everyone in the chat is loving you. You have to come back. Greatest guests I'm getting quite a bit of. So, Chris, forgive my friends.
I feel like those Ipswich fans, you know. I've always said that.
There you go.
But no, look, come on, good luck for the season, guys. I think you'll go up.
You too.
And we'll have to get together when we play each other.
We had a nightmare on Tuesday night, didn't we? Me and Martin went out in Long Melford and got entered into a pub quiz, didn't we? Where we represented Talking Town in the pub. And where did we finish? As good as Ipswich Town last season. We was bottom of the table. We was only 9 points off the win, weren't we?
Only 9. But more importantly than that, if you think tonight I'm having a mare, tell the people at home what I did Wednesday night to the team that won.
Well, we had to. If you've been pub quiz, you know what the standard protocol is, isn't it? You've got to swap your papers with the other table, and then Martin incorrectly marked next to our thing. So they declare the score. Blake gets on the mic. He goes, "We've got a 4-way tie at the top. The jackpot is going to have to be split." So everyone's like, "Oh, right, okay." And then it turned out Martin hadn't marked it properly, and he'd not given them 2 extra points that they should have had. So we slowly went out the back door, and didn't we? And departed into the darkness.
Pretty quick. I was like, quick.
But just so everyone knows, what is the most northerly country in Africa? Closest to Gibraltar.
Tunisia.
Tunisia, wasn't it? And who had a parrot called Captain Flint?
Oh, this was your moment of the evening. This was, wasn't it?
Long John Silver.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a good night, though, wasn't it? It was very.
It was a good night. It was good fun, but I felt so guilty when the team next to us said, "Hang on, I said that for an answer," and I put a big cross next to it.
I didn't feel that guilty when 50 quid came their way in that pint glass.
No, absolutely.
We made a mistake. Then we should have teamed with them. We went our separate ways. We should have teamed with them. We
were very late to it. He appeared at our table and said, "Do you want to do it?" And you said no. And then I said, "Well, I don't know. We can give it a go." Then
that roped me in, then, didn't it? And then we enjoyed it, didn't we? It was good. It was good fun.
It was good fun. I like listening to Chris there. That was really good fun. And overall, the show's been really good fun. There was a game tomorrow. I'm not going to go quite as in depth as we did on Wednesday's show. That's a match preview show, or quite as in depth as some of the quotes I've pulled out of the McKenna press conference. But really, the takeaway highlights, Matt, is Sammy Sponix, not a fracture. Chuba Akpom. Yeah. Chuba Akpom pushing to start.
Yeah.
And Jens Kajust looking to get more minutes. So with those 3 things now in your knowledge and hearing Chris, and based on what they saw last week and how you feel after what you saw from our team last week, how are you feeling heading in, and what do you think your score prediction is going to be as you saw right up? Before you do, actually, I should mention, as I will forget, and it will be a terrible night, is we are partnered with Match Bingo. Combine the excitement of live sport with the thrill of bingo. Your card has 15 random events from a live football match, and you watch them get marked off as the game unfolds. It's a brand new way to enjoy live football. You must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply, and please gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Links in the description, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to play. Now it's over to you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been now. So it'll be interesting then, wouldn't it, to see if Smodix plays tomorrow, given, because like we said, didn't we, it's going to be black and blue after that Southampton game, and like everyone was worried that maybe he had fractured his arm or his wrist or whatever, but he seemed okay. So there could be an argument there to start Chaplin. He did pretty well when he come on against Southampton. Is Akpom now ready to go? We know he likes to play in that 10. Do they feel like he's ready to go in there and contribute from now? Question mark around maybe Jack Clark being on the right. Don't think, obviously, McAteer is going to start yet, so maybe he keeps that berth there. Do you stick Philogene over there and stick Clark onto the left? I think you're probably going to see Mcer and Taylor as the midfield too. I still think Cousday will have baby steps getting into this side. Eventually, we'll be there instead of Taylor. So I think Mcer and Taylor will do it. And, you know, as we said, Taylor did pretty well. If you stack up his stats against Shay Charles and Flynn Downs, he played very well. Really, I just think again it's Ipswich fans just sort of getting on the backs players, and obviously you loved Mcer, didn't you? And gave him the man of the match, and he did play very well. I think maybe the defence is going to stay the same, will it? Johnson, O'Shea, Greaves, Davis kind of picks itself a little bit at the moment, I think, and Palmer in goal, and George up top. So I can only really see changes maybe on the right hand side of that 3 up top, and maybe in the 10.
Yeah, exactly the same. I'm really pleased. Obviously, it's not anything like a break or a fracture or whatever for Sammy, because he's a really important player for us and needs to be
He's been looking good. He's been unlucky against Birmingham. He looked good in that game. It's the post, and he against Southampton. So he's edging towards the goal. Hopefully, it'll be a deep delta tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, this is it. And it's good to see the other two. And that's why you should never believe social media rumours for anything other than what they are, social media rumours, because Jaden Philogene was out for the season.
Yeah.
And Sammy's fractured his arm or whatever it is, and neither are true, thankfully. Looking forward to tomorrow, really, because you've played the two teams that a lot of people had in their top 6, top 4, top 3s. You've not lost, you're unbeaten, and now you go away from home to a team that's made a good start, but has finished lower than 14th last season, and then the following week you've got another team that's finished lower than 14th last season. Now, hopefully, you're thinking this could be a good opportunity to really, put your mark down and show the division what you're about, and show the division that you're what you can do, and sort of flex a little bit. It's not going to be an easy game. On no way am I saying it's going to be an easy game. Preston are a well-drilled, good footballing side. They're just beating Leicester. We know they are. But if you're a team with top 2 ambitions, if you're a team with the the quality we've got, Jack Clark, Sammy Smodics, Connor Chaplin.
We've got riches. We've just sold 70 million worth of players and coming down with parachute payments. So, I mean, we are financially in a very good spot, which I suppose why is people are getting frustrated in that we've not spent all the money and we've got off to a bit of a slow start. But I'll go back to what I've said previously. It took Leeds about 5 or 6 games before they actually bedded back into this division, the transition from Premier League to the Championship. And I do think, we did have that tough start. We said on this show both would probably be draws. I said when the fixtures came out in June, or whenever it was, June, July, or whatever, I'd expect us to win this game. Maybe a slight question mark over how we started the season. But, as Chris rightly said, Preston always start well and fade off, really. So it's probably a good time for them to be playing us. But hopefully we can get that 3 points, because, we don't really keep drawing games. I suppose if you are going to do that early in the season when the clubs around you are still catchable. But once Mcer gets bedded in, post international break in September, going into October, I think that's where we can start really putting some runs together. But fingers crossed for tomorrow anyway. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely agree with you. All right. Don't forget, we are also partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Give Freddie a call there. He's the governor. 01449613633 for osteopath and physiotherapy services. Freddie's the governor. 01449613633. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Join me tomorrow. We've got a match reaction. May even do a little, and I do mean little match preview as the teams come out. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. That's either on YouTube or on Discord. I haven't decided if I'm doing one, the other, or nothing. But I am definitely doing a match reaction. That should be a definite. And then, of course, got the podcast on Sunday. But until tomorrow, this man here has been Matt Phillips. We've had Chris. Fantastic contribution from Chris. And where's he from, Matt? Where can they find him?
Leicester till I die.
Good man. He's getting it. He's learning. A few more appearances. He might have it now. But until tomorrow, take care. God bless.